Live. Let's get going. Chav Vav Amid Aleph. Chav Vav Amid Aleph. The two dots. Chaylim umisham shehem. Someone who is sick and his attendants, as we learned in the Mishnah a while ago, is pater from the sukkah. Says the Gemara Tanarabanan, Chayla Shamru, God bless you. Chayla Shamru, loy Chayla Shiyish Beisakana. What level of Chayla is pater from the sukkah? So someone might read the Mishnah, and someone would think that it's a Chayla Shiyish Beisakana, deathly ill. Says the Gemara, that's not true. Ela afilu Chayla Shein Beisakana. Even a Chayla that is not deathly ill, still is pater from sukkah. Now, what level not deathly ill? So usually, chayla she'in b'sakana in all of halacha means someone who's nafal l'mishkav, someone who's bedridden. The examples we usually give are flu, are migraines. There were times that COVID was an example. Then it was politically incorrect to say that. Then it was politically correct to say that. You know, depends where you were holding in life. So whatever it was, but someone who's bedridden. Someone who's bedridden. Afilu, it says the Gemara, chosh be'inav. Even just his eye hurts him. Va'afilu chosh be'raishai. Even his head hurts him. These are all levels of chayla she'in b'sakana, and your pater from sukkah. Now, whether the Gemara is expanding chayla she'in b'sakana with the examples of chosh be'inav, chosh be'raishai, or whether these are the classical examples of chayla she'in b'sakana, is not perfectly clear, but either way, those are the examples of one who is pater from sukkah. Amar Rav Shimon Gamliel, says Rav Shimon Gamliel, Pam achas, one time, chashti be'inai, my eyes hurt me b'Kesari, in Kesaria, vehilter Rav Yosi beribi, lishain ani umishamshi chutz l'sukkah. And Rav Yosi beribi allowed myself and my attendants to sleep outside of the sukkah. Another story, Rav Sharal Ravacha Bardala, Rav allowed Ravacha Bardala lemigna bekilta, to sleep under a canopy, bisukkah, in the sukkah, mishum baki, because of the mosquitoes. So now the Gemara sort of expands the heter that we're talking about.
What does the migna bekilta mean again?
To sleep under a kilta as a canopy.
What's the chiddush?
Whoa, there's many chadushim here, so let's get there. He's in the sukkah. Oh, very good. 1 second, very good. That's what you asked.
You just told me he was pater from
very
sukkah.
Good. Good. So the first level is, very good question. So the first level is, let's understand. It says mishum baki, because of mosquitoes. So he's allowing him to sleep under a canopy in the sukkah because of mosquitoes. So number one, this is an expansion that not only is there a patur because of chayla, we see now there's a patur because of tsar. Mosquitoes is not the same level as ayik. Alpi pashtas. If we look over here, and this is going to be clear in a moment in the Gemara. Now, if he's pater because he is mitztayer, because he's in pain, so what's he sleeping under the canopy in the sukkah? So we'll get back to that detail in one moment. Let's just read a few more lines. Rava, Charlie, and I know there's a lot of reading here, but these are just stories. Maybe we'll read it again at the end. Rava, Charlie, the Ravacha Barada, Rava allowed Ravacha Barada, Lemigdi bar mitaltalasa, to sleep outside of the sukkah, Mishum, because of Sircha, the foul odor, the bad smell, Tigargishta, of the ground of the sukkah. There was some gargishta, literally is white sand, the Mefarshim explain, and because, that's what Rashi says, it's karka levana, that the ground was very smelly, so you don't have to sleep in the sukkah because it's smelly.
How are they allowed to make a sukkah there?
How are they allowed to make a sukkah there? Those are very good questions, and that is something that maybe one day we'll have to get back to. But, what?
Why doesn't it say sukkah? Why does it say metal?
Bar metal talasa, yeah, that's the Aramaic. That's that I don't know. But it is a good question. What we're asking is that any sukkah we learned prior that is not roi for the sukkah for 7 days, it doesn't have a din of a sukkah. So if it's a sukkah in an area that has a ground that you're not able to be in, why does this have a din of a sukkah?
It could be the ground became smelly after building the sukkah.
Good answer.
I was thinking that, but if you look at Rashi, I'm not so sure. Rashi says, Karka Levana, shayatachin ba, that they were like grinding karkayis sukkah. I'm not sure. But let's continue now. The Gemara finally tells us what's going on over here. You're not sleeping there because of the mosquitoes. You're not sleeping there because of the bad smell. Rava l'taimei. So both of these stories, not both these stories. The last story was Rava.
All these stories.
They weren't all Rava. No, we're particularly talking about the last story, but we're going to see it's going back. L'taimei da'amar Rava mitztayer. Someone who is in pain is pater min hasukah. It's pater from a sukkah. Asks the pater min hasukah. Period. So heter number 1 is chayla. Heter number 2 is sar. Sar, at the simplistic level, is a lower level than chayla. Now that statement is not so.
Didn't we have a previous Gemara about tsar saying it's the tsar only from the sukkah itself? It's an issue, but if you just tsar, you are tsar. That's
very good. So what does this fall into? Very good. So this falls into the tsar from the sukkah itself. He's remembering the Gemara that we said that one who is an avel. Why don't we say that he's also tarud and he can't do the mitzvahs? And we said, no, there's a difference that over there, that's himself, and just calm yourself down. Here it's the sukkah itself. So you're right, over here it's the sukkah itself. The sukkah is smelly. The sukkah has mosquitoes. So the sukkah is the entity that is forcing you not to be there. Not to be there. So,
Chayla though, right? A headache, let's say.
by chayla is he himself. So very good. So we see that when it comes to a sickness, we don't tell you, calm down. Very good. When it's a sickness, we don't tell you, grow up, which we would maybe think, what's the big deal? You have a headache, take 2 Advil and go sleep in the sukkah. Now, whether you have to take 2 Advil, I'm sorry?
Would the same logic go for mosquitoes or bees? Like I'm saying, nowadays we don't necessarily say mosquitoes, but like.
Very good. Seemingly, the Gemara says that if there are a lot of mosquitoes, and therefore you are bitzar, you are pater. So if someone has bees all over the sukkah, it would seem to be he is pater as well. Now, there's an underlying question that we have to ask. What if you could get rid of all these issues? Do you have to get rid of all these issues? And that's a different discussion. Meaning, just take 2 Advil. What's the big deal? Meaning, if taking 2 Advil will allow you to go into the sukkah, are you supposed to take 2 Advil? Or do you say, no, I'm bitzar and I am pater? And again, we're going to have to eventually, we're going to have lots of these different cases. We'll have to one day wrap it all up. But let's continue the Gemara. Ask Gemara. So Rava just taught us that someone that is bitzar is pater from sukkah. Ask the Gemara. Va'anan tanan, but we learned chaylin umisham sheyem beturein min sukkah. We learned that the chayla and its in attendance, not it's a he, and whatever,
There,
or a she.
There.
I don't know, nowadays, is it politically correct? Do they say that anymore? I'm not so sure. But the person, the chayla, the sick person, and those attending to him, her, it, are pater from the sukkah. Sorry, Menachem, you're in Flatbush. What should I tell you? What happens? They are pater from a sukkah. So ask the Gemara. So the Gemara is medayik from the Mishnah. Chayla in mitztayer loy. The wording of the Mishnah seems to imply it's only a chayla. You're telling me even one that is mitztar. What do you mean? The Mishnah said you have to be to the level of chayla. So answers the Gemara, Amri, they said, chayla, when it comes to chayla, that's a higher level. Hu umisham shav pater. Then he and the attendants are pater. By mitztaer, hu pater, but misham shav loy, the attendants are not. So when you have your eye ache, then it comes out fascinating. Even let's say your wife, who's your misham shav, she's helping you out. She's giving you the I don't know what we do for an eye ache, whatever it is. She's also pater. But if someone just is bitzar because of the mosquitoes, the misham shav, the attendants, are not pater. So that is the fascinating sugya of chayla. Why what?
Why Taka?
Why which one?
Why is the mitzvah the mishamish?
Why is mitzvah pater from sukkah?
No. Why is the mishamshim pater by mitzvah but not by...
Oh, so what's the answer? So the answer to that question has to be that mitzvah is a lower level. So on a lower level, we say, what are you helping the guy out? He can take care of himself. When it comes to a chayla, the chayla needs the misham shav. So when it comes to the chayla and the mishamsha, we say you're helping him, so you're pater also. When it comes to the guy who's just bitstar, he can, take care of the mosquito issue by itself. Now, what is the patur over here? Why is he pater from the sukkah? Why is the chayla pater? Is it cause of, what's the reason? What's it? Isaac b'mitzvah, Teshu came to do. Tarid. Who does yell out Tarid?
iPhone 7.
iPhone 7 yelled out Tarid. Very good. That's Rabbi Cooper. His iPhone 7. It's not an iPhone 7. It's just a 7th iPhone. Okay, we got there already. But l'chayra, you're right, is that it's Teshu came to do. That's l'chayra the answer, and that's also the answer for tsar. That's what we're seeing a very big chiddush over here. Is that if there's mosquitoes, for example, if your dining room was mosquito infested, would you eat your suda there anyways? The answer is no, that's not normal. You don't live in such a scenario. So now your sukkah is your dining room. So if your sukkah is mosquito infested, you leave your sukkah. Where do you go? You go to another room. That's the reason why this is a much broader heter than we find other places, both chayla and sar, but with a very fine nuance of a difference. That chayla has a heter even for those helping him out, whereas sar does not. We'll stop here. Everyone can do a chazara. There's just a bunch of stories. Again, the word shara means aloud. The shara means aloud. Just to give you the key words over here, it's Shtieble Kinyan is that he was sick in his eyes. Baki are mosquitoes. Bar mitaltalasa means he's outside of the sukkah. Sircha means it smells bad. The gargishta is the white sand that smells terrible. And chayla and the rest of the words I think we got. Let's do a quick chazara.
Start from last night.